So I'm like, I'm like, wow, what these niggas doing with these motherfucking styles and whatnot? It's just all over the place. There's no style that's locked in. But it doesn't matter. Um, so I'm I'm making I'm trying to solve out pretty much. Um, I got theories to solve. Anybody with a theory come through with any type of theory, it's gonna cost you to make figure it out because it's gonna be figured out, well researched, maybe not researched, but just straight off what I know. Probably could help. Also, I'm thinking about making a Patreon, so yeah, y'all get set up for that. Yeah, then you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's what's going on. Here's what's going on. This man-made machine, was like it is Mega Man, representing a race that is well known for its performance compared to other races, based on sports, based on academics, based on health wise, genetic wise. We got it all. We got it all. But I'm just saying, it didn't have to be like that, but like it just makes sense. Only thing is, instead of it being like, well, I mean, like, there's no way that anybody would underestimate the vibe. The Because it's not really like a theory or anything like that. This is just something I thought about. Like it's just something something to think about. Maybe not. It don't have to be that important, but I would think it's important. Because I'm like, alright, but I'm not really gonna front. It don't have to be about race, the human race. Well, parts of the human race, the origins of it, all that type of stuff. What I'm like trying to say though is that it could be the obvious reason. It could be the obvious point where Mega Man actually made all that wars up. That's based on Mega Man X and Mega Man Zero. But I'm like, I can go deeper. I can go deeper than that. So I'm like, there's a possibility. There's a possibility. Well, not really a possibility because it's not. It doesn't exist. But well, no, it doesn't exist. It does exist. Just not real. It's not real. It's not real. And if you really think about it, though, it'd be like, what's the point of actually having a man-made machine as a hero? They already did it with Terminator, and that already be like a whole drag in 2015. You know what I'm saying? In a way, I don't really pay attention to those Terminator series, movie series of movies, but it's like Mega Man is not Terminator. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like for real, for real though, they was trying to push some vibe that would deal with you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even gonna lie, I actually did not play most of the Mega Man. I actually never finished a Mega Man video game or a Mega Man X video game or a Mega Man Zero video game. Never finished them. I played them, never finished them though. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know the full story of Mega Man. Well, based on what I know, based on what I know, I'm like, okay, I might be bugging out right quick. I might be on some hateful vibe or something like that. But it's just so weird that they will actually make a video game about machines fighting each other made by human beings who's also living with the machines. Sounds like a dystopian story. which actually didn't work. Well, no, it didn't end. It didn't end well. It worked out very well. It didn't end well for the humans. I'd be like, I just don't really understand why they had to be a video game. That would have been a movie off top. That would, that'd be like, oh man, it's fucked up. But it's just a movie. But they made it a video game. Uh, a video game that's not going to be looked at by everybody. I'd be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I know I wouldn't make no hero off of machines. I know I wouldn't. Not trying to be gay or whatever, but I don't see the type of situation for that. That's a lot of work. You know how much work that is? Not to mention the cost. That was gonna be the longest auction ever made over here in this game, but it's not. But like it's just off top crazy. Like in a way, I'd be like, this is nothing. I actually don't give a fuck. It's just the way that it actually was criticized in a passive matter. I mean, like, you don't have to play games. You don't have to play video games to know a video game. It's crazy. I'd be like, nah, this is something else, something deeper. I mean, I'm not gonna go that deep because I actually don't know the video game as good as the next person that played Mega Man and stuff. But out of all of the video games that's about machines fighting machines, that's like the most famous one. It's even more famous than Terminator. A Japanese video game at that. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious, but it's like I'm not really putting out such vibe to, I don't really push all that type of stuff to get into a vibe. You know what I'm saying? I be like, nah, nah, I don't think. But for real though, if people's actually gonna, yeah, I mean, like, okay, if a civilization's going to be terrified off of uh disaster that is bound to happen. I don't think anybody should actually just make a goddamn art about such thing. Like, you're afraid of it. What makes you think doing that is going to deal with the fear? It doesn't do anything. I'm like, it doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, things ain't looking good in this one. But I'm like, well, you know, I'm not even gonna lie. If I made a movie about machines, fighting machines, or make a documentary that would deal with the plans that is made by a selected few, exaggerate. It's gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. But fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I'm about to fucking do it. We got, yeah, fuck. It's not like I was gonna make a movie about it anyway. Too lazy to make a movie. Too much, too much, too much production. It's too much production. Too many actors, in a way, actually. Too many actors trying to be something else. I gotta be like, yeah, you're doing good. That's a good scene. And then I take a coffee break, do some yay or something like that. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, and wonder, am I really going to waste my time fucking with other people's acts? Shit, I already dealt with the realness. Already dealt with the with real life. What makes you think that's so impressive? Yeah, okay, that's fucking good. Um, I'd be like, nah. Why does it gotta be? Why does it gotta be that? Damn, really? But then I'm like, all right, there's really no reason to front on about talking about how other people, how others, how really, how residents that's near you is being annoying to other people, to other residents that's live farther away from it in the same city. It really is ironic. It's really ironic to say that. It's really ironic to say that there's there's a it's a small world, which is nothing to worry about. But at the same breath, though, be like, nobody pay attention to that. I mean, like, all right, it's a little thought. Got to put a little thought into it. You got to put a little bit of thought into it. But we all can dream. Ain't nothing wrong with dreaming. Just only it only becomes like and then it really becomes more important when you're sleeping than dreaming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, everything's going good. Everything's excellent. It's just so weird. It's just so weird that it's so weird that my viewpoint is only necessary when I put it out. Yeah, I know. Those days was just shit. Damn. Oh my gosh. Wow. But I gotta say though, I just gotta say this. The 2000 was the last decade to actually have sense. I'm not talking about America. I'm talking about all over the world. The last decade was 2000. But the reason why I actually say Mega Man was um like supposed to be representing a race, and all the villains that Mega Man was facing was the weaker part of the race, was because um the two scientists was from the same school.